Well, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Sky Blue Fans TV. And wow, what the last 24 hours it's been. If you woke up this morning and pinch yourself and thought, well, did that really happen last night? Yes, it did. We're at Wembley again for the third time in the last few years. I mean, we're getting a regular visitor to Wembley. And I just can't believe it happened. It was an amazing night last night. One of them nights that will stay with me for a long, long time. Up there with the Notts County at Meadow Lane, but only difference is the prize is a lot bigger. The prize is massive, a place in the Premier League, and we're going to talk about that tonight now with all our guests. We've got plenty lined up. Mark Smith, good evening, Mark. How are we?
Evening, Ken. Evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm still.
Have you recovered?
Tired. I woke up this morning feeling fine, but now I'm feeling a bit tired. So
I woke up this morning feeling of Wembley. I did.
yeah. I mean,
it was amazing.
It was a great night.
Amazing night. And it ranks up there with one of the best nights I've ever been involved in Coventry City. I say along with the Notts County evening. That was brilliant. Let's bring in another guy, Miles, who was there. Good evening, Miles. Well, you got your goalkeeper top on tonight, have you? Oh,
listen, I thought there was only one choice for this show tonight because that our goalkeeper, Super Ben Wilson, got his green shirt on, got the two shirts behind me. He deserves all the credit because if it wasn't for his goal at Blackburn, I don't think that we would have made this playoff position and made it to Wembley. The guy has been phenomenal. He's brilliant. Even last night, he tipped one over the bar late on.
He did.
Oh man, seriously, we're going to Wembley.
It was amazing, absolutely amazing. A couple more people that were also there. Gary Stubbs, good evening, Gary.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Gary.
Hello, everyone.
It was brilliant last night, wasn't it? Superb.
It was, it was an experience. Huh.
Certainly, certainly up there with the best, isn't it?
It was a superb evening, wasn't it? It made the 3.5-4 hour journey each way worth it. Still, it's just I've spent most of the day other than work, just looking at social media.
Absolutely, just catching up on what we missed back home.
It's a dream, really. I'm feeling I'm feeling exhausted now because, so as you know, we got in at 3 a.m. I think I then spent about an hour scrolling social media. I couldn't switch off because I was still absolutely buzzing. And it's been I'll be glad to get to bed, I think.
Yeah, we've all got to catch up on our sleep. Another person who was with us last night. Good evening, Wayne, one of our new sponsors. Good evening, how are we?
Evening, Ken. Evening, all. Very well, thank you.
Wayne.
Did you enjoy the tavern experience last night with us? Was this lot from the tavern?
Most definitely, always do with you guys, and obviously the Sky Blue Army, massive atmosphere.
And what time did you get home?
About 2:00, but I was the same as Gary. I was on my phone, scrolling through all the YouTube stuff and the Twitter stuff, and I don't think I've slept, so I'm still running on adrenaline now. Yeah,
I mean, it's just an amazing night, and then I woke up this morning thinking, did that really happen? But it's unbelievable, really, from where we were to where we are now. It's just astonishing. And okay, let's talk about the game then. We're talking about the team selection to start with, the team that Mark Robbins put out. I know we spoke about it, maybe a couple of changes. I did predict a couple of changes with Godden and Eccles being dropped to the bench and bringing in Jamie Allen and Ben Sheaf. And Mark, it worked pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was the right team. I mean, that's the team I predicted as well because I think the problem was with the first game was I felt Borough were playing for us a bit too easily. So I think he went with the extra midfielder to just strengthen us a bit more defensively and make it hard for them, which I thought was the right tactics. Being away from home, I think it's just a case of just digging in, being resilient, and then wait for the opportunity to come. And obviously, it fell perfectly last night. So spot on with the team. I thought, I thought Robbins and ADV should take a lot of credit for that. I thought it was a correct team.
Yeah, and Miles, did you agree with the team?
I think Yeah, one up front. There was no doubt about it. We haven't had the option for we haven't had the option since before Christmas to just play one up front. We've had no play two up front. We've got some players back fit, which was absolutely amazing with Jamie Allen and Ben Sheaf coming back into the fold. There was no question about it. We had to stump out that midfield, which then creates space for Hamer to do his magic. And Victor caused them a lot of problems in the second half. I thought they couldn't cope with him in the second half. He really put his body on the line, and it was an absolutely fantastic decision to make that change and go one up front. Very brave, but Robin's trusted formation, and because players are coming back, we were able to do that. And it was just, really, really good choice. Really good choice.
Yeah, tactically, I thought he got it spot on. Gary, did you agree with the team selection?
Yeah, I think we everybody said before the game that they were the two changes we would have made. Godden was anonymous, really, in the home game. Just didn't have any impact really on the game. Just chasing shadows, wasn't he? And it absolutely worked to a T, didn't it? I mean, we kept it tight. They got frustrated a bit, and then obviously we got our customary goal on the break, and then the whole game just opened up. They had to push out. Victor got more space, and in the end, it could have been more. It was textbook. It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Wayne, I'm sure you probably agreed as well, didn't you?
Yeah, totally agree. I think it was pre-planned personally. I think he knew what he was doing on the first leg, and I think he knew he was going to play that box midfield on the second leg, and it worked.
Yeah, I thought tactically he was absolutely superb, and they're a good side, Middlesbrough. You can't deny that. They've got some fantastic players, and we have to nullify them. And I think we did a good job at doing that. And Mark, the first half, did it pan out to where you thought it would? I mean, Middlesbrough did have a bit of possession, but we were dangerous on the attack, weren't we, in the first half?
Yeah, we had a couple of opportunities. I think Gyökeres had one. I think, to be honest with you, I've not seen a replay on it because from what I saw of it, I think the keeper may have just got back in time. That was one sort of opportunity I could think of the first half, but it was pretty tight, I would say.
Yeah.
I think Middlesbrough certainly dominated the game in terms of possession. But I thought defensively we were very good. I mean, the only opportunity they really had was that header right literally seconds before the referee blows at half time. And
that's right.
Wilson makes a reasonable save. And I think it was just a very, very tense first half. I mean, I was very tense. I'm sure we're all very tense. And Middlesbrough are a very good side. They play they're a very good passing side. They're very patient style of football. They're always looking for an opportunity to thread a pass, thread it for a needle. But I thought, again, defensively, we were great. I think the extra midfielder did help with that. So, yes, it was a tight first half. It was as much as I expected it to be. But the crucial thing was not to concede. It was quite the atmosphere was absolutely superb. It was probably the best atmosphere I've encountered on an away match, not just by our fans. I thought their fans were really good as well.
Yeah. Very noisy.
And I thought we dealt with that atmosphere very well because Leicester sides could have crumbled in that situation. We didn't crumble. So full credit to the players. They're just absolutely fantastic. Running out superlatives.
Yeah. Miles, did you probably agree with that? But did you think it was important not to concede in the first half because their crowd were very partisan? They had the flags flying. They had the volume pumped up on the tannoy system. Just crowded out a little bit. But we made our noise in the corner, didn't we? We were the ones that were singing in the end. But, they certainly made it very noisy for us, didn't they?
Well, their biggest mistake was giving everyone a flag, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
We know what happened at Notts County when they gave them all a T-shirt. So they gave them all a flag last night thinking they were going to do it. No, I mean, Wayne and I were stood at the back before they come out the tunnel, and I said to Wayne, this is the problem we've got at the CBS. Our tannoy system isn't loud enough and isn't intimidating enough. And I know why they don't do it at the CBS because you've got a load of people that complain about it. It's too loud. Well, not being funny, if you ever go to Forest's tannoy system like last season, it was mind-boggling. You couldn't even hear yourself talk to anyone. It was like being in a nightclub at Forest. And Middlesbrough tried to create that atmosphere last night. They tried to intimidate the team, and it didn't work. And Robbins had a game plan, and it was his game plan that he always uses in big games. And we know that he knows what he's got to do, and that is to go in at half-time, 0-0, not concede. It took them 48 minutes to have a go on target in the first half, and that was a soft header straight at Ben Wilson. That was just on the stroke of half-time. So it was you couldn't pick a winner going into half-time. It was sort of like the first leg, and they were cancelling out us, we were cancelling out them, and it was just constantly all the time players trying to cancel each other out. But there's one thing I said to Wayne on the first half. I said there was hardly any loose passes going astray. The passing was a lot better last night. It was more crisper. It was more precise. And the players, I thought the players looked very comfortable in the first half. I think we had more of the chances in the first half. There was one where Vic, he really should have latched onto it and gone round the keeper. He went down and fortunately slipped because they absolutely waterlogged the pitch, didn't they?
Yeah,
and then
they
there was another chance where we closed them down, and we should have had another. I think it was Jamie Allen hit one wide in the first half. But I think the game plan in the first half worked, and you could tell what it was because we did it at Fulham last year, we did it at Watford this year, and you could see exactly how we set up against the bigger teams. Even against Burnley this season, they only beat us 1-0, and that could have gone either way. And these two games were exactly like that. It was like we were just playing a game of chess, and we were just waiting for that chance, and we got the chance in the end. But the first half, I thought they played absolutely out of the skin. There was hardly any. The passing was great in the first half, really good.
Yeah. Gary, do you agree with the first half performance? Very good. I mean, it was quite tight.
Yeah.
Were you always confident?
No, I wouldn't say I was confident at all. But the atmosphere was incredible. I thought fair play to the Middles fans to our left made a right old racket. It was a right cauldron in there, wasn't it? It was really intimidating.
Yeah, I weren't far from you, was I? You were just in front of me, weren't you? And it was very, very noisy, and it certainly made a racket. But I thought the first half it was cagey, wasn't it? I mean, we did have chances, didn't we, Gaz? We had a few chances. We could have picked them off. We'd finished them.
Yeah. I was quite nervous of their. I think they got quite a few good crosses into the box first half.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't really manage to capitalise on anything. But yeah, we stood firm. And then I think second half we stepped up the noise. We had that 10-minute rendition of Twist and Shout. And actually,
that was brilliant.
I honestly think we drowned out the home fans were stunned. And I honestly think that was the catalyst for the team thinking, you know what? And they seemed to respond to that, and they seemed to step it up. And the second half was a lot more like us, really. But I just can't fault them. The bodies on the line, the defending was absolutely superb. I'd say Norton Cuffy started slowly, and I was getting a bit frustrated. But after, he grew into the game really well. And even Dabo, when he came on, he did brilliantly. To come into that atmosphere, 1-0 up, away at Middlesbrough in a playoff semi-final, I thought he did brilliantly. And fair play to I've had a complete mind blank. Fair play to Kelly.
Oh yeah, he's come in from nowhere, hasn't he?
Stop-start. He hasn't been in great form, and then he's come back. They've done, he's played 4 or 5 games on the bounce now, and he's been unbelievable. Yeah. So can't fault them to a man. They've been absolutely amazing.
Wayne, what did you think of the first half performance? Were you quite pleased going in at half time?
Oh yeah, definitely going away at Middlesbrough 0-0 at half time. I was very happy. I think defensively that gives us the platform to do what we needed to do in the second half.
Yeah. Did you anybody stand out in the first half for you, performance wise?
I thought defensively good. I think the only slight criticism of the first half was I felt the delivery to Gyökeres could be better. Still felt a little bit too direct, but what we did do is there was one time when I can't remember who passed it. It could have been Ben Sheaf. He actually passed it on the floor to Gyökeres. He actually got in front of the defender, I want to say it's McNair or someone like that, and he actually fouled and picked up a yellow card. And that's what we need to do more with Gyökeres. I felt in the first game we were too direct. We were trying to hit it long to Gyökeres, and Middlesbrough winning every single ball in the air, and then we're on the back foot. And that was the problem a lot with the first game. What we needed to do, in my opinion, was play a bit more intelligent with the passing, try and play on the floor into space and let Gyökeres have a run and try and beat his man by pace and strength. That's my view anyway. But I think that's my slight sort of criticism of us in the first half.
I think I would say
they always had two defenders, haven't they?
Yeah. I was really concerned about the yellow cards because the referee was dishing them out like confetti, and it always seemed to be, maybe I'm being biased, but for me, yesterday he was swayed by the home crowd time and time again. Another Premier League referee who I thought was pretty poor, if I'm honest. I mean, we had 6 booked, including almost the whole back line.
Yeah, do you think the Premier League referees tend to book you for nothing rather than something you'd probably get away with with a normal Championship referee? That seem to play on a lot more. The Premier League referees sort of stop you and for any little foul, really, or pull you up for anything, don't they? And that's what I think was happening last night.
Yeah,
I thought he was one of the better referees we've had.
Did you?
Do you? Well, you think?
Well, look what we've had all season.
Yeah, it's certainly not the worst. I wouldn't say you.
Not the worst.
Certainly not worst. We've had some poor ones, haven't we, this year? To be fair.
No, I don't.
But he did. There's only a couple of things I wouldn't agree with him, but in general, he did sort of book a lot of people, and maybe when a warning would probably been more adequate. He got these yellow cards out pretty quick, I thought. So it was a bit concerned when there's quite a lot of players on the pitch with yellow cards going into the second half. And he got a bit nervy then because any mistake then from one of the ones on the yellow, it's a red and the game changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought they managed the game brilliantly. All of them. I think Heyman was booked, wasn't he? Maybe McFadzean, Doyle potentially. And I was thinking, just one mistake and we're down to 10 men here.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, we managed it brilliantly.
Yeah. Going into the second half, then, Miles, did you feel confident the more the game that clock ticked down? Because I know I kept looking behind me at the clock.
Just going on to before that, just going on to your comment about the referee.
Yeah.
It's amazing how we've all got different views on the referee last night. I was chuffed with the linesman on our side of the pitch. He was flagging for free kicks. He was flagging for fouls. In the Championship, the linesmen are too scared to flag for a free kick or a real bad foul or whatever. Last night he was flagging free kicks up, which was really good. And I thought that the referee situations on Vic last night where he was getting his shirt pulled, he was being pulled to the floor. The referee gave us a free kick. Championship referees don't give us a free kick.
Yeah,
they don't look after
a couple of free kicks last night.
He looked after the strikers last night. And yes, okay, we got some yellow cards, but their 2 centre backs got a yellow card each. One of theirs could have gone off. A couple of midfielders got a yellow card. One of them could have gone off. So in the first half, I said to Wayne, we need to target that. The centre half he was their first player to get booked. We said we need to target him now. Try and really go at him to try and get him sent off because teams would do that to us. So I know he was willy-nilly with the cards, but I thought virtually, I would say 90% of the game he got right. There was a few occasions he got wrong, but 90% of the time, I think last night that referee did really well. I thought, especially the pressure that he was under with that game was just unbelievable. But I mean, in the second half. I mean, we knew we had to come out we knew we had to come out of changing rooms, all guns blazing. Like Mark always says, we started off really slow. Some of the games this season we've started really slow. We come out on that second half and we went at them straight from the off. We went at them. I think it was 3 minutes into the second half where Alan. I mean, if Alan had played probably 3 or 4 games more, because he's only just come back from injury, he probably would have buried that chance that came across. Because Ben Sheaf ran into the box, flicked it back towards Alan, and Alan's fluffed it really. And
he sort of lost his balance, didn't he? As the ball came to him, he didn't sort of get a connection on it.
So that's match sharpness, and Alan would have probably put that away. I mean, you see some of the goals Alan scored this season, it put that away. So, I thought when we come out second half, we come out all guns blazing. It was a fantastic second half performance, and I mean the ball over to Vic when he went nearly through and nearly could have lobbed the keeper, but I think he thought if I try and lob the keeper here, it's not going to go anywhere. He's laid it off to Hamer. Hamer's cut it inside, and it is two players, keepers in no man's land, and Hamer's just put it into the back of the net, and it was a typical Mark Robins second half performance. It really was. You knew what you could see what the game plan was, and that was a typical Mark Robins second half performance. We did it at Watford. Remember, we did it at Watford.
Yeah,
we come out the traps, all guns blazing, and Victor went and scored. That's all we needed was the one goal. And that, as I say, that game last night was just like Watford away this season. It was a great game plan, brilliant game plan.
Mark, were you happy with the second half, with the way we started? I thought we did start strongly.
I think it started when the crowd was singing "Twist and Shout," and then I think it almost it relaxed the players.
That was brilliant.
It's amazing how a chant, and this will be a lesson for the final, obviously, as we'll talk about in the next week, is today the players seem to react to it. They responded to it, and then I think you can't underestimate that finish from Gus Hamer. That was a top finish. When you watch it on the replay, he's got two men pretty much near the line. He's got a keeper. I know he might be nose man's land, but he's still in a position where he could save it. And to put it in from like that was just incredible. It was an incredible goal, and you can't underestimate how good that was. That was a top goal. But we seem to gain a bit more space on Middlesbrough. I'm not sure why, but we seem to have a bit more freedom when we're going forward. In previous games, they just nullified every attack that we threw at them. They won every header, every tackle. But it was brilliant. And I must admit, I wasn't sure what to expect from the second half because it was such a tense game. I was thinking it's going to be extra time penalties. It's going to be a long night. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But I mean, when the goal goes in, I mean, we're all in the crowd. It is the greatest feeling in the world. I mean, I've never cheered as loud. I've lost half my voice. You could probably still hear me just about, but some of my voice is gone because it was just the adrenaline rush of the game, the moment. And I think in some ways, playing away second leg was actually a good thing for us. Because I think if you're playing at home second leg, the roles were reversed and we were a team in the higher position than Borough, and we're the ones playing at home second leg, I think there's a bit more pressure because, there's a bit more expectation. And I said that previously. I said that although it was 0-0, the Borough crowd will be, there's a lot of expectation on their players to deliver, and they didn't deliver. So, we did the job first half, we kept it tight, and then once we got that chance, we took it. And that's the difference between the first and second leg. Borough had chances in the first leg, they didn't take, and we did. It's as simple as that, and that's why we're through and they're not. So it's brilliant.
Yeah, I must agree with you there. Gary, second half, fantastic. And how do you think it went from your perspective?
I think it was us against the world, wasn't it? Really, we were squashed into that little corner. There was only 2,000 of us. It was basically us and the team against the world. It was just unbelievable. I would agree with Mark. I was thinking either one goal settling this, or it's going to extra time and penalties. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock and getting back at 4. And I'm thinking, please don't go to penalties because I don't mean to be, derogatory towards the players, but I don't really have a massive amount of faith in our penalty takers.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if we go to penalties, I'm not that confident of winning a penalty shootout. So, but yeah, it's just perfect. You're just thinking, you just want that one breakaway and that one bit of quality, and it came. And when it came, boy, was it good.
I mean, I thought when the goal, I thought Vic had cocked it up to start with, didn't he? I thought he took it too far. And it's going to bloody cut this up. And then Hamer just took it off him and said, "You're like, give me here. I'll finish it for you." And
like Mark said, what a finish!
Yeah,
that is not an easy finish, is it? He's got two men on the goal line, and he literally put it in a place where they couldn't even get to it. And it was in a flash as well, wasn't it? And it was a beautiful strike of football. Curled it straight into the top corner, didn't he? Or kind of near enough top corner.
Yeah, right in the corner, and he wouldn't have got that on the line.
It was, and the feeling was just unreal, wasn't it? And the limbs in the away end.
It was down our end as well, which is brilliant. And we'll have a look at some footage after the break. We've got plenty of videos and photos to look back on the evening, and we'll look back at some of that as it went on. But Wayne, how did you feel when the goal went in?
Oh, awesome. Absolutely awesome. On the back of what Mark was saying as well about the twist and shout, I think it affected the fans, the home fans to the left of us as well. I think it got them lost and the noise dropped, which I think, the 12th man for us, Sky Blue Army as well, played a part. Hamer didn't hit it first time. He composed himself, lined himself up, and that's Premier League shot, that is for me.
Oh, that's quality. I mean, did you think Vicar took it too far and cocked it up to start with? That's what I thought. God, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
And then Hamer obviously was there at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, he sort of took it off him, didn't he, really? You could see Vic's stance, he wasn't too happy until it went to the back of the net, and then he was all right with it, wasn't he?
I seen him afterwards. I seen a little interview with him afterwards. They were saying, thanks very much for the assist.
I see that, yeah.
He handed him his, because he got player of the match, didn't he, as well on Sky, Hamer.
Yeah.
So
it was quite funny from Vic, wasn't it?
It was funny. But yeah, I mean, and that was enough. Were they the longest 8 minutes you've ever known? Extra time? Because for me, I thought,
what's going on
here?
Yeah, I felt like I aged about 20 years. 8 minutes. Those 8 minutes were an eternity. And it was so stressful. You just felt every time I had the ball, we were dropping deep. You're going to conjure up some chance they're going to score. And they almost did. I think they hit the woodwork. I think, with about,
they had a few corners on the bounce, didn't they? They had a few corners up there.
Well, they had a goal that was ruled out for offside. Yeah. Unfortunately, I saw the assistant referee flag it, and so I was quite calm then. But the one where it hit the bar was, I was literally expecting the crowd to roar, and I think great extra time. Here we go, and it hits the woodwork, and we get it clear, and it's like that's just fate. It's fate. It's going to be our night. That's when you know it's going to happen, and things are going to happen, and. Yeah, it was so nerve-wracking. I've never ever. I think the last time I was as nervous as this, possibly was the League Two semi-final against Notts County.
Notts County, yeah.
And going back even further, I would say in the '97 season, we stayed up at White Hart Lane was another one.
Yeah, Tottenham. Yeah, we went 2-1.
We had to win to stay up. But there's this. As I say, it was. We got the luck we needed. It was a perfect away performance in my opinion.
Yeah, Miles, those 8 minutes, what were you doing?
I kept nudging Wayne. I kept going, how long we got on your watch? Because Wayne sets a stopwatch on his wrist or on his phone.
Yeah.
Even when we're at the CBS, he's got his phone and it's there. It's got the time ticking away, and I've just kept going. Oi, how long? And he goes like this, and kept going like this. I go, oh no, another 7 minutes. And he does it again. I said, another 6.5 minutes.
It seemed like really 15, 20 minutes. It was a joke. I thought, I can't believe it. I mean, do you think the 8 minutes was about right? I mean, we did waste a little bit of time, but everybody does that. I'm not sure it was 8 minutes.
Listen, I was so chuffed for Ben Wilson to go down on the floor and pretend he got kicked in the head, because it's about time we did things like that. I'm sorry. But it really is about time we started doing things like that, because I'm sick to death of teams coming to us and doing that sort of thing.
They do it to us all the time.
And I don't care if he got booked. I don't give a damn he got booked, because it just slowed the game down. It took the pressure off us, because they were putting a little bit of pressure on us at the time. I mean, they were desperate. They put 4 strikers on the pitch at one point through the game, and they really threw it at us. Especially for the last 20 minutes, I think, or 25 minutes, he changed it. So, fair play to Ben Wilson. But, it was probably the longest 8 minutes. And but it's just, look, we've done it, haven't we? I mean, we could have been 2-0 up, couldn't we? Because Hamer hit the bar. What a free kick. What a free kick. The keeper didn't even move. He didn't even know. I don't think he even realised he kicked the ball. But the way it rattled the crossbar, You just hope it was like a couple of inches low and come off the crossbar and went in.
McFadden said in an interview afterwards, he said he puts them away in training every day.
Yeah.
So he's disappointed it didn't go in.
Yeah, but let's hope he saves it for Wembley and he gets one at Wembley. So he deserves to get a goal at Wembley. But yeah, that 8 minutes. Oh my God, won it, Wayne. Wayne, what was it like, mate? We were stood there, weren't we? Will, Jack, and Tyler. And we were just like this, weren't we, for 8 minutes? I think, weren't we, mate?
Yeah.
Incredible. Gary, were you looking at the 8 minutes on your watch? Or
it was torture, wasn't it? We were proper under the cosh as well. Like you say, they had a flurry of corners. We kept dropping deeper. They were constantly coming on to us. We couldn't get really much of the foot. We couldn't get hold of the ball. It was horrendous. I mean, we're just looking at each other saying, how long left? One person was saying 3 minutes. One person was saying 2. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Just blow the bloody whistle go. I thought the 8 was harsh. I thought maybe 5 or 6. But
I couldn't believe it was 8.
Yeah.
I thought maybe 5. I thought at least 5 possibly, but when you said 8, I thought bloody hell, that's a lot.
Yeah,
but,
and you're thinking, like you say, that one hit the woodwork. But like I say, it was almost like fate, wasn't it? Everything just went our way. I mean, we deserved it, but we also had we had that bit of luck that we needed as well.
Of course, everybody needs a little bit of luck along the way. Everybody needs a little bit of luck. And we'll look back at some of the videos of the final whistle when it does go eventually. In the second half, we've got some video footage of that. I was taking a video of when the whistle went and all the players came running down to the corner where we were. We'll have a look at plenty of pictures. And we've got loads of comments as well. Oh, it's sprinted down. Yeah, Ben Wilson sprinted as soon as that whistle went.
You see, Matty Godden did the best one, didn't he, with the knee slide?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, the media guy did the best one. Nearly took Amy out. Amy was going to be injured before he even gets to Wembley.
But the togetherness, though, you can just see it, can't you? It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And we've got loads of comments as well coming through. We'll go through the comments in the second half. We're going to have a little short break now, ad break, and then we'll come back and have a look at some of the videos and footage and go through a few of the comments that people are making about last night's fantastic victory. So stay with us. We'll be back. Indeed. Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Scarberry Fans TV, Part 2. We're talking about last night's brilliant victory at Middlesbrough, believe it or not. What else can we talk about? Yes, we've got a lot of comments, we've got a lot of video footage, and a lot of things to go through. So let's go through the messages we've got. We've got loads of messages piling up. Let's go and get rid of some of the messages we've got from our listeners and our watchers. Nation Radio Commentary, good evening, Tony. Evening, everyone. What a proud moment last night. It's been hard to climb, but we are nearly back to where we belong. Quite agree with that, Tony. We'll live and die by these towns. Wembley, the famous Coventry City. We're going to Wembley. Thank you. Here we go, Joe Kelly. Kenneth Tomer, start saving to buy your half and half scarf, Miles. You're a fan of them,
get one of them. I need to know. If anyone from the club shop's watching, when the shirts are coming out with the Cov City versus Luton playoff final, I need to go and get one. If you can let me know, that would be great.
Yes, that's very true.
And Wembley fridge magnets.
You and your fridge magnets.
There's got to be a Wembley fridge magnet somewhere. I'm sure there is.
You must have about 8 fridges, Miles, the amount of fridge magnets you've got.
It's weighing down the door.
You want to see the fridge, man. I think it's going to fall over soon.
Let's have more comments. William Darbody's Towns. We've got Super Mark Robbins. He knows exactly what we need. Nally at the back, Victor in attack. City's going to the Premier League. That rhymes somehow, that does, doesn't it?
That's a good song, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Be a good
Got
chant,
Super
yeah.
Mark Robbins.
That'd be a
Exactly what we
fantastic
need.
chant.
Nally at the back, Victor in attack. City's going to the Premier League. I just had to put a tune to that. I'm sure someone somewhere can get a tune to go to with that one, can't we?
Can he send us those lyrics on Twitter, or we'll send them out tonight on our channel? We'll try and get someone to put some tune to it.
Put a tune to it, yeah.
Oh, we didn't know the tune.
What?
We know that tune.
To what song?
I'm not sure what the song is, but it's "We've got Super Mark Robbins. He knows exactly what we need. Manali at the back, Victor in attack. City's going to the Premier League."
Yeah.
I'm not sure who sings that song, but yeah, I know I've heard that before, Gary. Actually,
we have sang that already. I just don't think it's really caught on.
Yeah, we
There's
sang
my
it.
little song rendition for you, lad.
The words was probably slightly different, but that's good. Yeah, that's very good.
Love it. Love it.
Liam Varney, PUSB. Glenn, good evening, Glenn. Sky Blue Hub, get in. He's come back with saying Coventry City club broken, at war and homeless. Now united and marching together onwards and upwards. Yes, I quite agree with all
that war comment. Do they mean that was the war? Was that with the war with the council and the Wasps?
Possibly,
I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be in it. We've always been at war with the powers
the owners and the council.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. Beats Notts County away. Does it beat Notts County away for you, Gary?
I think the magnitude of it, yes. I mean, you know, that was League, getting from League 2 to League 1. This is obviously potentially Championship to the Premier League.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I'm saying it. It just, still feels like I'm dreaming. Yeah.
Because the prize the prize is much bigger, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think that the magnitude of it is a hell of a lot bigger. Although you could say, that season, if we'd had another season in League 2, where would we be?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the atmosphere in Notts County was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're up there. They're both up there.
And you've got to remember, we had a lot more fans in Notts County, didn't we? We had
about 4,500, didn't we? Yeah.
And we only had 2,000 last night. I don't know if did you go to Notts County, Mark, away?
No, I didn't know, but so that for me was the best game.
Yeah, so it's the best one for you.
I went to, back in the Highfield Road days, when we were a Premier League club, but the game that stood out for me was one I went to was the 3-2 win at Arsenal in '99 when Robbie Keane scored and
Robbie Keane,
Macca scored, and they were great days. But this for me was the best. It simply was the best yesterday. The atmosphere, the situation of the game, the way we played was, for me, that was the best. It's a standout game for me. It was just, the best I've been to. Absolutely.
Wayne?
Yeah, with limited fans, wasn't it, as well? We could have doubled that and a bit more as well, couldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, was that the best game you've been to? Or
away, definitely away, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, could we say there's only 2,000 of us there last night, weren't there? So, you know what I mean? It was a bit of a exciting time if you had a ticket last night when there's a lot of people at home that wanted tickets and couldn't make it. So, mostly love of music. Good evening. How is Mark not manager of the season? No chance company could ever brought Cov to the playoff. Well, I agree with that. I think Mark Robbins should have been player this season, manager of the season. I'm sure all of us agree. Do you agree with that, Miles? Because company had a lot more bigger budget than us. He had a lot more money. And he was expected, really, with the players he had, to go back up, wasn't he, where we weren't? Yeah,
I mean, listen, like when you look at the manager of the season that got picked, you got Carrick in there. You got Carrick in there, who's been there half a season. Yeah, how can you be manager of the season if you've only been there half a season? So, Vincent Kompany, he inherited virtually a Premiership side. He had a bit of money to go and spend on players. Yes, okay, he's had to change their style of football. But for what Mark Robbins has had to put up with, no pitch, no club shop. Owners wouldn't spend any money. Everyone seems to forget we have done this and we haven't bought one player. We've not spent a penny on a player. We haven't bought a player this season. And we've gone and done it. And how on earth Mark Robins never got it, it beggars belief. It just shows that Sky Sports, whoever, it's all about the big boys. How many times were Burnley on telly? How many times were Blackburn on telly? I mean, we were on telly once from July the 31st up until December. How does that work? You know what I mean? It just beggars belief. So it just shows it's all rigged. And company bought his way out of that league. You know, he could have gone and bought anyone like Maatson. He went there because Burnley could afford to pay full wage, probably Chelsea's wage. We were probably offering a third of the wage, you know, and that's why we miss out on players. It's beggars belief that he never got it, because what he's had to put up with it is just unbelievable. And he signed a new 4-year deal. What an absolute brilliant time to announce that just before kickoff. I think it's 2 hours before kickoff. The guy he was on Sky Sports after I've watched it today over and over again, seeing his little face being interviewed by the panel on the pitch. The guy was just so made up. You could see how much it means. Adi at the end, he's got his badge and he's kissing the badge. And, you know, that backroom staff, this club means a lot to them. And it's like Mark Robins said on the radio to Winchy. He said Doug King offered him a deal. He couldn't refuse it. The club fits for him. He fits for the club. He feels at home with the club. And he belongs. And you know, I hated it when he left us the first time, and I hold my hands up. I did. I was gutted he left the first time, and you know, I wish he hadn't have gone, because if he hadn't have gone, where would we be now? And he's come back, and he's just really done the most wonderful job for the team to put up with what he's had to put up with. It's just unbelievable.
Don't you think that was a learning process for him as well?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Process for him as well, to go and then come back, and I think that's made a difference personally.
Yeah,
I think he's learned from his mistake, obviously, by leaving.
Massively.
And the grass isn't green on either side, is it, all the time, as we've seen many times with other managers, you know. The Luton manager was one, and that Nathan Jones left, didn't he? The guy who's come in and replaced him has done a fantastic job, hasn't he? And Nathan Jones left and ended up getting sacked at Southampton, didn't he? You know, it's not always, you know, the right decision to leave a club. You're better off staying where you are sometimes. I know the money's tempting, isn't it, when you get offered double your wages or whatever. I mean, most of us would probably jump at the chance if we got offered double your wages to go and do the same job, you know, somewhere else. You can't blame him for that, but it's nice to have a bit of loyalty, and I think Mark Robins is a great fit for this club. He's a perfect fit for this. Some managers have the right fit, don't they? And I think Mark Robins has got the right fit for this club. He's got everything right behind the scenes, you know, with his backroom staff and his recruitment of the players. But definitely, I mean, what's your thoughts, Wayne, on the Vincent Company, on the manager, getting manager of the month? Do you think Mark Robins should have got it?
Yeah, most definitely. With what we've been through as a club and as a set of fans, and as a manager, you know, with Sissy in charge, he had nothing, you know, apart from if we did sell anybody, they'd keep the money. So most definitely,
yeah.
I think they've just gone from the name of his, from when he was a player, wasn't he, Vincent Company, personally?
Yeah, definitely. And some of the clubs go on reputation, don't they, rather than experience or know-how, if you like. And as we've seen in the past, it doesn't always work. Let's have a look at some more of the messages then that are coming in. We kept the best attack inside the Championship, scoring only 1 goal in 4 games for us, and that wasn't in open play. Yeah, quite correct. You know, I thought our defence was absolutely superb against Middlesbrough in the last 3 matches.
I don't know how true it is, Ken, but I heard last night it's the first time this season they haven't scored at home.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I believe it is right. Yeah.
That
just shows you. That just shows you what a fantastic job the defence did. You know, it was brilliant, to be fair.
And 22 clean sheets for this man.
Yes, that's another
Super
thing.
Ben Wilson.
I thought you were talking about yourself there, Miles, there for a minute.
No, not me.
Yeah.
Super
He made
Ben.
some brilliant saves again last night. He's been absolutely superb when he's been called upon, and
brilliant.
keep that amount of clean sheets is amazing. Underage Cop fan wants Doug King's phone number. Mark, I don't know if
Will
Miles
King's got it. Will King's
Yeah.
Will King gave it out, didn't he?
Social media, didn't he?
I think he.
Yeah.
From what I read, I think he published it on Twitter. I think, and he made
Some
a bit
people
of a joke
got hold of
about
it.
Yeah.
Didn't he say
It's a good job. It's a good job we're playing well at the moment. We're not playing badly because I don't think he'd appreciate that if we were playing badly. So yeah, a bit of luck.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
he might be changing his number sometime soon.
I think he probably will, to be fair. I'm sure he can afford it. They have more than one phone. Woke up this morning thinking I'd been dreaming. Well, I think you're not the only one there, mate. Andy. I agree with that. I had to pinch myself. Robbins once again got his team selection tactics spot on. But had no answer to us, arguably 1-0 in the end. The flattened them with the other chances we had. You're right, Glenn. We had more than, we could have scored more than one goal in the end of the day. We had plenty of chances during the game. I thought the tactics were spot on, and we just picked them off. They were going to come at us. I thought there'd be more goals in the game. To be honest, I thought it'd be a bit more open, but it wasn't. It was still a bit tight. But we certainly had more than one chance. We could have easily scored 2 goals, maybe 3. But we picked them off really well. Grim 4GL Demonized. I don't know who that's a new. All the best in the final from a Burnley fan. Right, okay.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Grim.
Yeah, thanks very much, Graham. Good to see Mally doing well. I'll be supporting you on the day. Coventry deserve to get to the Prem. The money will set you up for years. Yeah, I quite agree with you there, mate. Thanks very much for them comments. And it's nice to see Burnley fans listening to our podcast. And McNally's doing, for the information, McNally's doing absolutely superb, mate. And we don't want him to come back to you, to be honest. We want him to keep him if possible.
I think I count one bad game that McNally had, and that was probably the Stoke hammering.
But then again, I think you can put another 8 players into that as well. There's probably 8 or 9 players had a bad game in that game, didn't they?
But other than
I think everybody had an off day on the same day.
Yeah, and you can't.
What a loan signing he's been. I mean, to come into this team, having never played at Championship, barely played at Championship level ever. Dom Hyam who? He's don't get me wrong, we've gutted that Dom went, but he is, he's come in and he's been fantastic.
Yeah, he
got us a pitch. He got us a new grass, didn't he?
No, that was only said it, Jeff. No, fair.
Listen,
I would
I'm sure.
Tell you what,
back in a heartbeat.
They said they thought it wouldn't last all season, that pitch and stitch or whatever you want to call it. They said it wouldn't last all season. I'll tell you what, it looked bloody lovely last Sunday, didn't it, when we played Middlesbrough?
It was immense, yeah.
What a difference! What a difference that pitch makes when he's not a rugby team playing on it. Brilliant, isn't it?
Wow.
It's a football pitch.
We won't go there, Ken.
No, you can see the difference. You can see the difference, can't you? The pitch has been fantastic, and that's what it should be like. It's a football pitch. It's a football stadium. So let's just keep it at that, and we don't want any of the sports playing on the pitch, really, to be fair. I mean, we don't really want concerts on there, but obviously they have to have concerts. But they do cover the grass and stuff anyway, don't they?
It's being relayed after the concerts anyway, isn't it? So it'll be okay this season.
Ken, can we just say good evening or good day from Australia? Jason Driver is all the way in Australia watching us. Good day, Jason. Yeah, that's fantastic. I hope you stayed up for whatever time it was out there in Australia watching the Sky Blues last night. I'm sure you were. And then we got our regular. Well, if I can find it, where's it gone? Oh, it's right at the beginning, I think. All the way from Texas. Where is it? Oh, there you go. Mark Reed. Hiya, all from Texas. Hello, Mark. Stomach is still in knots from last 30 minutes last night. Yeah. No, you're not brilliant. Not the only one, Mark. Believe me. Brilliant. I've got one bugbear though about Sky. And there's a comment come in here somewhere. I've got to find it. It's here somewhere. Keep talking while I find it.
I was just saying, Sky Blue Sam's put a comment on Akpon and Archie on the pitch. Were they on the pitch? That's not totally non-existent. Yeah, they didn't do a lot, to be honest. That's because the defenders had them in their pockets. McNair didn't have Vic in his pocket yesterday either. Because
second half.
Archie was always offside.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was offside on numerous occasions, and good players don't get the offside positions that often. Obviously, now and again you get the offside decision, but he seemed to be in an offside position all the time. But yeah, we coped well with them, and I say they didn't really have a sniff, did they?
Here you go, Sky. Then,
go on. Yeah, go on.
So Sky, right? Debate for you all: Hamer or Harmer?
Hamer for me.
Catty Cad says, "Kez, who's Harmer?" Sky always called Hamer Harmer. What's that all about?
Done that since.
You should have asked him when you saw him at the end of the season, I
was watching. I think it was last season. I was watching one of the games, and the commentator, forget who was commentating on the particular game, said, "Yeah, I've done my research. I've looked into it, and it's definitely Harmer." And since then, they've always called him Harmer. So we need to ask him.
To be fair, he does do a lot of Harmer.
Got a sad message actually for me and Ian Small. Good evening, Ian and Reese. Our thoughts go out with you today because I know they buried their dad and granddad. Hi team, said goodbye to my dad today. Everyone said how much he would have been smiling after last night. We left the chapel to the PSB, so that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And our compliments to you all, and obviously our thoughts are with you. And I hope everything went well today for you. And I'm glad, I'm glad it all went. You left the chapel with a PSB song. That was brilliant, and I'm sure that went down well. And I'm sure you would have loved. He would have been smiling after last night, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
While you're talking about that, Ken, I just want to give a shout out to Martin, my cousin, as well. It was 12 months ago today. His wife passed away, so we think she was looking down on us all last night because she knew how much it meant to Martin to watch the Sky Blues. So, so you're all right, Martin, and all the family.
Martin. All the best, Martin, and I'm sure she was. I'm sure she was watching down on us. Glenn, Sky Blue Hub, Ryan Giles, nothing to fear from Borough in either game. Yeah, he did a couple of decent crosses, Ryan Giles, didn't he? He was dangerous in the first couple of games. He didn't really do a lot last night, did he? He was pretty quiet.
Cuffy kept him quiet. I thought he kept him quiet in both games. I think we were talking about it, weren't we, Wayne, during the half time, saying that Cuffy's done really well against Giles. He did a lot in the first game at the end of the season. For the last game of the season, he was really whipping the ball in. But on Sunday and last night, I thought Cuffy really kept him quiet. Really did, I thought.
When we watched him getting substitutes, Miles, didn't we? He was blown out of his rear end, wasn't he? I think he put a shift in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely did. Cuffy definitely put a shift in, yeah.
Okay. Adabel Christine Taylor. What a win yesterday. Still can't believe we're going to Wembley. 25k tickets sold so far. Absolutely massive club. Now, I wanted to say about the tickets. We've all got our tickets so far, I take it? Yes? Everybody's got them? All safe and sound? I know there's 25 gone already. And I believe they're going on sale tomorrow for fans with 100 points or more, is it? I believe.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
But they'll sell out. I think they'll sell out, obviously, before they go on to general sale, won't they? I think, and
I don't know.
And obviously we're going to have 36,000 fans there. Not sure how Luton whether they've sold all theirs or not. I'm not sure.
Luton have been allowed six per person as opposed to our two, so I don't know whether that says anything.
Oh, have they? Oh, right, okay.
And they've got about 250 more than us as well for some reason.
Yeah. That, Gary.
Yeah, they have got slightly more. Yeah, maybe that's
the other thing as well, that we were allowed 2 tickets per season ticket, but Simon, who was coming on tonight, but he's got to pick his dad up from the airport. He went on this morning. He could only get 1 per season ticket.
Really?
So I don't know what happened there. So, but I mean, as you say, people who got 100 points tomorrow, there's going to be thousands out there that have got 100 points or more tomorrow. They're not even going to get past tomorrow, are they? I don't think. I think they'll all go.
No,
tomorrow.
I mean my phone. I'm sure my phone. I'm sure your phone, Miles, was inundated with messages for tickets and. Have you got any spare tickets? Do you know anybody who's got any spare tickets? Do you know anybody?
The extra tickets you had to press assign, didn't you? So I wonder whether he didn't assign them.
No, he did. He went to
okay.
It was only letting him have one. So I don't know what happened there.
Did you have to assign them to you because you get 2 tickets?
Yeah.
Or do you So you get them assigned to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they come under the season ticket holder's name, but you actually press the assign button for the extras.
Right. Maybe that.
Also, if you bought your Premier League ticket, your points got put on last night, so your points have been added.
I know. Mine's gone up. Yours has gone up, hasn't it, Miles?
Yeah, 1,800 and something, which is phenomenal. But guess what?
What?
You ain't going to believe this. You really ain't going to believe this.
What?
We're going to get our money back next Sunday.
Just clarify that. Is that offer still open? Because I believe it is.
Yeah. I believe it is.
Yeah.
So you're telling me now we're one game away from Wembley.
Yeah.
And if you renew your season ticket now, with one game to go, 90 minutes, then you've got a chance of getting your money back.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic offer. I mean, you'd be mad not to take it, wouldn't you?
I'm going to go and buy another one just for the fun of it.
I thought the Premier League package has already gone though.
They did. No, they extended it.
So somebody's bought one today, and that's how they got the tickets to Wembley.
Yeah, it's still on sale.
Fair enough.
They extended it. They did extend it, and they just announced they extended it, and they've kept it open. So
I suppose they've budgeted for 5,000, haven't they? If those 5,000 haven't gone yet, then
I think it's probably about 3.5 or something at the moment, or 3 points.
Yeah.
So they're probably a little bit short.
And I'm not being funny. 2.5 million.
When you're getting 120.
When you and the rest, you're nearly 200 million, isn't it? With TV deals and everything. When you're going to get all that money, what's 2.5 million? It's nothing, is it?
Well, it's nothing. No, because they can afford to do it. It's not an issue. But I just think it's a great gamble, though, isn't it? I mean, with one game to go, you've got your chance of getting your ticket money back. It's fantastic. It's just absolutely brilliant. Let's have a couple more comments, and then we can have a look at some videos. Com spent more time on the floor moaning at the ref opposed to causing us problems. Yeah, he did. To be honest, I was a bit disappointed in him. He went down a little bit too easy for me, didn't he? On a couple of occasions. What a pass by Sheaf, says Sky Blue Sam to Vic for the goal. Good work by him to get the ball past Stefan. And wow, what a brilliant finish from the Brazilian. Fantastic, yeah. Kenatama, Moscow. It's going to hear the SBA. You're right there. You could only hear them. When I watched it back today, I could hear the Sky Blue Army in the background. You could hear them fans on the telly. That was fantastic. Underage Cov fan, did NBR see the media guy nearly take out Hamer in the celebrations at the end of the game? Yes, we did see it. Yes, I don't know if we've got footage of that. Have we, Mars? I'm not sure if we have, but we might have. But it's certainly on social media. Perfect tactical decisions by Robin, said Robert Manton. Absolutely. We're a constant threat, and Borough kind of choked us when they got into a good attacking position, said Glenn. That's correct. Jason Diver, good day from Australia. We've had that one. Good day again. Good evening to everybody around the world. That's from us, isn't it?
Yeah, that's from us.
You sent a message back.
Yeah.
And Robert Manson agrees with you, Mark, says spot on, Mark. Darren CCS, the cat. Hamer was everywhere last night. God knows how he didn't get into the team of the year. Well,
it's another travesty, that, isn't it?
I said this. I mean, I think we all agree here. How the hell he wasn't in team of the year is beyond me.
Well, they've gone with that kid at Bristol City, haven't they? He was 19.
Yeah.
Played a handful of games and got about 5 assists and 2 goals. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he got sent off 3 times. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's certainly improved since the Birmingham game when he got sent off against Birmingham. He's improved a hell of a lot. His discipline record has been brilliant. He's hardly ever been booked. He's been booked on a couple of occasions, I think, since then, if that. But
he's gone to another level the last 10, 12 games, though, hasn't he? He's just
yeah.
He's been absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
the guy's amazing.
Let's have a look at some memories then from last night, shall we? We've got loads lined up, haven't we, Miles?
First of all, I've got to show you this one. He's on the panel tonight. He's here.
Look at the shock on your face there, Gaz.
I know, look. Out, Gary. What are you doing? Come on.
I've just picked my glasses up off the floor and I'm putting them in my back pocket. And then, because that was after the ball had hit the back of the net. We'd been, like it is that when you score, especially a goal of that magnitude, everybody's just going mental. We're all hugging each other. My glasses flew off on the floor. I'm thinking, goodness me, I've got to pick them up before somebody crunches them. So I've just picked them up and I'm putting them in my back pocket as they panned onto me.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, we've got loads to go through and photos, but I've got to show you this. I've got to show you this photo because this is absolutely fantastic. Now, I'll show you first. This is Big Vic's dad.
Who is this person?
Big Vic's dad and Big Vic's best mate. They were there last night before the game. We had a little chat with them. It was fantastic. His dad was wearing Victor's shirt. It was just great to talk to them. And they've been over here for 2 weeks on holiday. They're going back, I think, this weekend, and they were back for the final. So it was great to meet those guys yesterday. Absolutely superb.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
He did predict as well 1-0. He predicted a 1-0 win for Cov. 0-1, he says. 0-1.
0-1, yeah. Big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to Mark from Ipswich. Mark White travels virtually I think he's missed 2 away games this season. He come all the way up from Ipswich, got on the coach at the Sky Blue Tavern with us, drove all the way up to Middlesbrough, got in his car when we got back, drove back to Ipswich, and he got into his house this morning at 5:30.
Wow.
Now that is absolute commitment.
That's dedication for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
5:30, and he didn't go to bed. He logged onto the computer and he was number 300 in the queue to get his Wembley ticket today. So brilliant. I've got to put this one up. The boys, seriously, these guys, what a team. What an absolute team. They're just amazing. The boys have done us proud. The 3 Musketeers, there they are. Jack, Tyler and Will. Will's got his lucky hat on from League 2 playoff final. Still fits him. Sky Sports were at the tavern as well.
Yes.
There they are filming. Mark got interviewed. Ken got interviewed. Will and I got interviewed, and some other fans got interviewed. On the coach.
They even came on the coach.
Even come on the
cameraman. Coach. Cracking cameraman there.
Yeah, who took that picture?
That is, yeah.
Gary,
I think. We played Uno for 3.5 hours. That was brilliant. Gemma and Paul and that on there. It was absolutely superb.
Who came on top? Who won that in the end? That Uno.
No, it was all about who loses, and the loser has to buy everyone a drink. Yeah, it was going on all afternoon. Yeah. So there's a little picture. There's me and Wayne at the final whistle. I think we're a little bit happy. Let's get some videos on. Here we go. Let's see what this means. The final whistle, man. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely unbelievable. Let's get some more.
Talk about football changing in a blink of an eye.
Brilliant.
That's ace, isn't it? That's ace, isn't it? That's just absolutely brilliant. I love that one. That's got to be my favourite one all day. We got this one outside
I think Jordan Shipley started one of those songs, didn't he?
Yes, he was there. We've seen him in the concourse before the game.
In the concourse before the game and after the game, there's a video of him starting some songs. Yeah,
nice to see Shippers. Nice to see Shippers supporting us. That's brilliant.
Yeah, very definitely. Good. Let's get some more.
Seeing you there, Gary.
That's ace.
So again.
Seeing you there, Gary. Wishing him all the best. Is that you?
Yeah. Well, I actually said to him, "How did you get enough points to get in here?"
It's not what you know, so you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen Wayne in the background with his beard.
Yes, Wayne was in there as well. Yeah.
All right, let's get some more on. Let's have a look. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know what this one is. Then we go back to some photos. I think you sent me this one, Ken. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll have a look. I haven't checked this, so it could be anything.
Excuse for the language, then. I'll be bad language.
It could be anything.
Hamer chases. Come on, referee. It's all over. Yeah! Coventry City are going to Wembley. And Gyökeres and Godden are leading the race of Coventry players to run over to the Sky Blues corner. What a performance. What an achievement for this Coventry City team. They have reached the Championship playoff final, winning at the Riverside for the first time. And what a time to do it. Gustavo Hamer's goal, enough to send Coventry City to Wembley. Who would have believed this? When Coventry City beat Middlesbrough in October, it was their first win of the season. They looked to be in real trouble. They've somehow turned it around and they are going to Wembley.
That was commentary from Clive at BBC CWR there, I think, wasn't it? Brilliant.
I hope we don't get into trouble for that.
Yeah, I think we've all heard him before. We all know Clive's voice.
I mean, that when you see that just sums it all up, doesn't it? I mean, Clive knowing where we were, and I listened to him on the way back home, and he said that back in October, some fan went on and he says, "Oh, you were laughing at us. You were giggling back at the beginning of the season, Oggy and Clive and that, and they sort of made out that they were taking the mickey out of some of the fans' comments, and there was some fan. They said, but some fans' comments came in October saying we're bottom of the league, and that we'd be relegated by Christmas. I mean, to have that sort of mental attitude to think that we were going to get relegated by Christmas, and now to be where we are. I mean, I'll come to you first, Wayne. I'm going to ask you this one, mate. What does this mean to you to see this happen? Because we were rock bottom. I mean, to see us here now is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's no more than we deserve, in my opinion. And I'm just pleased for the younger generation as well that haven't seen us in the top flight. When we went to the toilet afterwards last night, somebody said to one of the kids, "I bet you think we're permanently at Wembley." It's great for them, isn't it?
Yeah. And
yeah.
Gary,
I was just going to add to that, Miles, before we
go on.
Remember the guy at Villa Park who holded a sign up, "We'll be back."
Yeah.
We'll have to trace him back down because we're very close to being back. And if we can get hold of him, if he's out there, contact us and we'll try and get you on the programme. And
Will's been speaking to him because Will put a post up a couple of weeks ago, a little video, and it was on there, and the guy messaged Will on Instagram. So I'll see if Will's got his details.
Yeah, we'll try and get him on. And it's took a bit longer than expected, but we are very close to being back. Very close.
Yeah. Gary, what's this mean to you, mate?
It's just mind-boggling, really. You look at the team and you're thinking, we've got what used to be a reserve goalkeeper who's kept 22 clean sheets in the Championship and has won the Golden Glove. Bidwell's a solid player. We've got a couple. We've got a guy on loan from Arsenal. 19, 20 years old. Hardly ever played at this level. We've got Kelly playing out of his skin. Godden, we shouldn't be in this position. We've got, and now obviously we've got some superb individuals. Got a good defence, and obviously Vic and Schieferheimer and Vic are our main linchpins or what have you. But it's mind-boggling that we're actually in this position when you look at some of the money some of the other teams have got and the squad depth they've got, and you look at our bench, and even yesterday it wasn't that strong, and you're thinking, how are we doing this? How are we 90 minutes from the Premier League? I just can't get my head around it.
I mean, I've been saying all season when I've come on here and I've interviewed other teams podcasts and streamers, and I've said to the other teams, like, when you look at Birmingham City, they've got something like 15 midfielders in their team. We've had 4 fit midfielders since December. I mean, it's just unbelievable what we've achieved. And we've got a 21, 22-man squad, and everyone else has got a 31, 32-man squad. Every team in the league has got 10 more players than we've got in the whole squad. And we are in the playoff final. I mean, Mark, I know, we were chatting last night. I was taking the mickey out of you a little bit. I'm sorry if I was taking the mickey about you, because he was going, "Oh, we haven't done it yet. We haven't done it yet." I said, just enjoy the moment, didn't I? I was saying, come on, Mark, just enjoy the moment. I mean, how are you feeling now? You've had a little bit of sleep, probably 4 or 5 hours. I mean, do you believe that we're going to go and do this now?
Well, I'm always. I think we can do it. Obviously, I mean, to be the final was just an incredible feeling. I think first and foremost, I just had a gut feeling that we weren't going to do it last night. I just felt that certainly after the first half, I was like, I just can't see a score, and then all of a sudden we did got the goal, and I think we can definitely beat Luton. I think you're right about the squad, by the way. I think that's because of Cisse. That's the simple answer. Cisse left us in that position, and Mark Robbins and ADB Bash and not just them, but the scouting team. I think Chris Badland, who obviously is no longer at the club. Before that, he's brought in some good signings. So they're the people who deserve a pat on the back for getting a squad together that's put us in a position now where we are 1 game away from the Premier League. Looking at the final against Luton, it will be a tough game. They're going to pose different questions to Middlesbrough. They're going to be a physical side. They're going to have players who Adebayo and Colton, Morris, physical strikers, and they're not going to make it easy for us. But it's at Wembley, the bigger pitch. We're not paying Kenilworth Road on a small, pitch. And if you look at the playoffs, Sunderland beat them in the first leg. So, at their place. So it just goes to show they are beatable. And we've got to be good enough to take opportunity. But it's brilliant to be in the final. I'm absolutely ecstatic. I'm, overjoyed that we're there. But now let's go and win it. Let's win it. Let's take this opportunity because you don't know when it's going to happen again. So, yes, enjoy the moment, and I'm still enjoying it. But it's a big week next week. We want to get back to where we belong in the Premier League. So, it's about making sure the players keep up the fitness levels, keep putting in the work in training, and then hopefully by Saturday evening we'll be putting in that performance to get us back to where we belong in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you think Palmer might make the bench?
Well, I thought, talking about Palmer, I thought Palmer might have had a chance of being on the bench, as I was saying to the others last night. But he was obviously out on the pitch, walking around on the pitch. But he must be very, very close to being fit, from what I'm hearing. And I wouldn't rule out him being on the bench. To be fair, I know O'Hare's a little bit behind him, but I think Palmer's very, very close to being on the bench. I wouldn't rule that out. And it'd be a bonus if he is, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Ken, I'll ask you the same question. What's it mean to you for us to be in this position? And, we are one game away.
Means the world to me. I think, as I said, that night, last night is up there with one of the best nights. I've seen a few ups and downs over the years, believe me. And that's up with one of the best from... same as Notts County really away in recent times, and I just think the club's looking or going in the right direction with the new ownership and the manager and the squad and the recruitment and the backroom staff and everything. Even off the field, they're getting it right. Little things that they didn't quite get right to start with, that they're improving on. And I think with Doug King coming in, I think you'll see more improvements. If we do happen to get, we've got one game to go. We've still got to beat Luton, who are a good side, by the way. But I just think, we can beat Luton. We definitely should be able to beat Luton. But we have got that game to overcome, remember, before we start talking about the Premier League. So we've got to remember that. But if we do get there, I think it'll be a tremendous achievement for everybody. And it'll be so happy. I'll be so happy for especially the youngsters who haven't seen us play in the Premier League for over 20-odd years. And it'd just be fantastic, wouldn't it? And so many young fans out there that haven't seen or never known Coventry City to be playing at the top level of English football, and to see us back where we belong would be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Right, here's some more pictures. So this is the cue for the coach. The coach was a little bit late.
Yes, all right, Miles.
We were panicking.
I weren't having a dig.
I know.
The coach was a little bit late, so lads were hanging around outside. We got the wonder kid himself, 22 clean sheets. Ben Wilson there celebrating at the end. There's the players at the end really enjoying themselves. As you can see, all the Borough fans have gone home. Mark White just sent me this, so I've quickly put it up. I love this one. Coventry City fan walks into the bar at Wembley. Bartender, the usual.
I hope that will remain the case after Saturday. That's what I'm hoping.
I love it. And then I've got to finish off with this photo. This is probably the best photo. Hold on. I'll come back to that one in a minute. There's the queue outside the CBS today. The CBS did put an announcement out on Twitter last night. Please no camping outside the stadium.
I thought
you could only forbidden.
I thought you could only collect your tickets if disabled. I thought
disabled, yeah.
That's what I thought.
So all that lot must be disabled. Well, I know Neil went up because Jack's a disability, so he had to go up and get his ticket.
Well, if you've got an adequate reason,
so he had to go and get his ticket.
A lot of people there.
He was in the queue for about 5 hours today. Neil was, and then this is Wembley. So this is your seats at Wembley. I am going to be down behind the goal, block 132.
You're not far from me, Miles.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I'm row 4. So I'm chuffed with that one. We're near the front, which is nice. I love it down there. That's nearly the same seats as a Checker Trade trophy, so I'm chuffed with that. Where are you going, Ken?
I am further round, but I'm quite high. About 544, 544. I think I am in the yellow.
Okay, in the yellow, up above. And Mark, where are you?
I think I'm 552.
So you're upper as well, are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got to be careful of the steps. You see, the stairs. I can't climb them. Wayne, whereabouts are you?
I'm 134, row 13.
Brilliant. And what about you, Gary? Where are you?
I'm in 128.
Oh, you got a nice
128.
Down by the front.
Oh,
yeah.
In the orange.
Oh, that's nice.
No, we're kind of to the left-hand side of block 128.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's
nice.
Yeah.
And then
we didn't want to go. I didn't want to go up in the gods, to be honest. So there's a few of us. There's about 20 of us that have all got seats in that block.
Yeah.
So should be. I think it was a very similar block to where I watched the Checker Trade, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I tried to get, similar seats. And then the final picture of the day, I have to do this picture. I have no choice because it has to be done. Playoff final. Hey,
amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Oh,
we're getting close to know why Vic puts his hands over his face, aren't we? We're getting close.
Well, we tried to get it out of him, didn't we?
We asked his dad,
dad last night. And his mate, even his best mate, said, "Well, all will be revealed at the end of the season." So we ain't got long to wait.
It's better be good.
It better be good. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Got to be good.
Right,
good. We've got a few more comments before we wrap it up.
Claudia,
good evening, Claudia. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. I'm sure you did. My birthday on the 26th, out in Warwick, Wembley on the 27th, out for my birthday again on the 28th. Then the bank holiday Monday, followed by a week's holiday. Hopefully celebrating all week. Wow, God, you got a busy few days.
He's gonna need holiday because he's 65, I think.
Oh, is he? Oh, he doesn't look 65. No way.
I'm sure he'll thank you for saying that as well.
55, maybe. I'm 65. Ian's come back on Archie was offside anyway when he over. Yeah, you're right. No, he was. Good evening, Tony. Nation Radio. The one hit would have been disallowed. Archie was offside. Yes. Damn right, Miles, says Robert. I'm not sure what you're right about.
Referee.
Oh, about the referee. It's worth 200 million to beat Luton. What incentive? Well, yeah, it's got to get up for that mark, isn't it? I know. I think roughly
ridiculous.
It was about. Yeah, it was 100. Last time I heard it was 178 million. So it's probably gone up to about 200 million overall with all the sponsorship and everything. It's got to be worth at least 200k, 200 mil, isn't it? Easy.
Well, yeah. I mean, you think about now. I mean, since Doug King's come in, I noticed the last 5 home games or 5 home games, there was a new advert going around the billboard, which was Asda Mobile. Now we've never had. That was the first new advert we've had for years. It's normally Cov City Shop or XL Motors or someone like that, and all of a sudden Asda Mobile's come up. So you think about, yes, okay, you got the Premier League money coming in, but you think about how many sponsors are going to want to come in and sponsor our football club, because Leicester are going down. Leicester are going down. So are we going to get any of their sponsors come and jump on the bandwagon? You know, so it's just going to be mad. And you're going to have billboards all the way around the ground, because you're not just going to have them on one side, because the Premier League like them all the way around, and also the sponsorship are going to want them all the way around. So it's just going to be phenomenal. The amount of sponsor money that's going to come through the door is going to be, like Gary's just said, off the scale. It could be worth more than £200 million. And not only that, it's worth... I heard, I think it was on the radio last week, they had a sports analysis come on. And they said that when a club gets to the Premier League, for the local economy, it's worth something like £2 billion, because people come to stay in hotels, they drink at pubs, they go to shops, they go all over the place in the city that they're staying. So, you know, they were saying like camera crews come from all over the world. Don't forget, this is the Premier League. So you've got camera crews coming from Australia, America, Japan, all around the world, stopping in hotels for a week or 4 days or whatever. And it just brings in so much money to the economy, the local economy, they were saying. So this is worth, it's off the scale. It's just going to be worth unbelievable amount of money. More money than when we were in the Premier League the first time around. And we know that. We know how big it's gone. And it will change. It will change our club forever. It will.
Yeah.
It will change us forever.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Hummel do with the shirts for when we're in the Premier.
Yes, that'd be nice. Looking forward to a new shirt next year. I'm so glad we stuck with Hummel as well. At one stage, it looked like we were going to lose them, didn't it? But that's another thing. Doug King obviously come in and seen what a great relationship we had with them, and made sure we stayed with them and come to an agreement with the new business owners. So that was great. Here's a question for you guys, just before we wrap up. If we go up, how many of the players do you think we need? Good Premiership players to be competitive in the Premiership. How many players do you think we'll need? How many do you think we'll lose? Because I think obviously Robins, personally, I think he's probably got 2 lists. He's got a list if we're still in the Championship recruitment, and he's probably got a list of Premier League players he'd like. Obviously, the money and the wages and everything changes. How many do you think we'll need, Miles? Do you think we'll need a few?
I think we can't do what Forest have done, because our method and Robbins's method, if your attitude isn't right for our club, you're not going to come and play for our club. You've got to have the right attitude. You've got to be a team player. You can't be a star player that comes in and all of a sudden the dressing room changes. He will bring players in that will fit with the club and the mentality of the changing room. I believe that we've got to keep the spine of the team. We've got to keep the spine of the team. We've got to keep Victor. We've got to keep Hamer. We've got to keep O'Hare. We've got to keep Ben Sheaf. Jamie Allen, will he get a lot of games in the Premier League? I don't know, to be honest. It'd be a great squad player. I think we keep Kelly. I think we extend Kelly for a year, because he will coach Eccles. He's brought. You can see that Kelly's been coaching Ben Sheaf. You can tell. You can see it through the way Ben Sheaf's learnt the game. Although he was at Arsenal, he was a real good player. Kelly's taught him even more and made him the player that he's starting to become. And you can see it with Josh Eccles as well. So you keep Kelly on for another year. You keep Fads on for obviously his contract, because he can coach the young players. I'd love us to go and sign McNally. I think if we go up, we've got to sign. We have to sign McNally. I think we have to go and sign Panzo, even if he don't start every week. I think we go and sign Panzo and be a squad player, because you're going to need a big bench. And if you can, I know it's going to be a tall order, but get Callum Doyle on loan again. You ain't going to buy Callum Doyle, because Man City are just going to want. He's just signed a new deal with Man City.
He's on a long-term deal, isn't he?
He's on a long-term deal. And then Ben Wilson deserves a shot in the Premier League. He deserves it. Ben Wilson deserves his chance in the Premier League. We get another goalkeeper in, probably 2 more goalkeepers in, and then we build around it. We don't go and buy 24, 25 players like Forest have done. We build around what we've got, because we've got O'Hare.
O'Hare. You've got to remember, we've got O'Hare and Palmer are both Premiership quality, aren't they? They're 2 players you have in your team, without a shadow of a doubt. Mark, who would you? How many would you bring in if you had to bring, and how many would you get rid of if we went up?
I mean, we need defenders. That's the first thing, because we've only got, technically, we've got McFadzean and Rose as our only actual signed defenders.
Yeah.
The bones. So that's an area we've got to strengthen. So you're probably looking at least maybe 3 or 4 players in that position minimum.
Yeah,
maybe more. But let's focus on getting promoted first. We need to get promoted. We haven't done. Let's get that bit done first. I know Miles has given me that look to say we are going to get promoted, but we've got to keep our feet on the ground here.
We have, but it's just a scenario. If we did, presume we did go up. Obviously, there needs to be a big turnaround in players, wouldn't there? We know the ones that we all know the ones that would be staying. your Palmers, your O'Hares, your Big Vic. Hopefully, I think Big Vic would stay if we went up. Hamer, Ben Wilson possibly as well.
Yeah, I agree with what Miles said. I don't think we want to spend like 15, 20 players like Nottingham Forest because he's right about personalities and that. It's important that Robbins doesn't want to sign players who are going to rock the boat because you look at the way we celebrated last time we win and every game this season, the team spirit, not just this season but last season and before that, is always phenomenal. So I think that's definitely a factor. Robbins will factor in with signing players. How many people? Well, it's not always about the quantity; it's the quality. So we've got to get the quality right. I think Glenn I think there's been a couple of rumours of being linked with. I think Wilding at Stevenage. The guy at Rotherham, I can't remember his name, at the back as well.
Wes Harding.
Wes Harding, yeah.
Linked with him today.
Possibly Ogbene we may be linked with. I could be wrong. But it's for me, it's not always about the quantity. It's about getting the right player, the right quality, who's got the right personality, who's going to fit into the ethos that Robinson instilled into the squad, which is a big thing. So, and obviously we don't know what's going on with Gyökeres. So there's a lot of things up in the air at the moment. Whatever division we're in next season, be it Premier League or Championship, that we don't know. So it's going to be a very interesting summer. Whatever happens, it's definitely a very interesting summer. I would be tempted to keep Kelly for another year. I was before he started playing regularly. I was like, he's a certainty to go. But now I'm thinking we need him because he's been absolutely phenomenal for us. So interesting times.
Yeah, I think he deserves another 12 months at least. Gary, would you keep Kelly?
The key thing here, I guess, the question was to be competitive. Now, I think we've got to go into this. If we do it like Mark says, we've got to keep our feet on the ground. If we get there, we're going to have a very big surprise, I think, in the gulf in quality. So how many players are we going to need to be competitive? Being realistic, how many players do I think we've got who compete week in, week out in the Premier League? No more than probably 5 or 6, and that would be including potentially signing McNally. Yeah. So, I agree. We don't want to be doing a Forest and bringing in 25 players, but I think we probably need upwards of 12, 13. Because, like you say, we pretty much need a whole new defence. We're going to need another goalkeeper. Probably going to need 2 midfielders, maybe 2 more strikers. And this is on the basis that Vic does stay and Hamer obviously stays. We've got to be. Mark Robbins has always been one of those people who, sentiment is not. He's not going to stick around with sentiment. I personally think that he probably will still release Kelly. Yes, he's had a great 5 games recently, but he's not been available for half the season. We can't really have these. Yes, if we're in the Premier League, we've got the money to keep these people on. But in the Championship, we still don't really. I think he'll be pretty cutthroat with the squad again. And people, we simply outgrow players, don't we? And yes, I can see people's arguments for keeping Kelly on, but personally, I think it would be good if we get up, and I think that would be the end of the road for him. And thanks so much for everything he's done because he's been an amazing player for several years, and without him, we're where we are. But is he going to play in the Premier League? Not for me, not a chance.
No. Well, there's a lot of decisions Mark Robbins has got to make, and it's going to be difficult as well. Wayne, do you go along that same lines? Would you keep Kelly, or would you?
I would do. We've got we have got 2 scenarios, haven't we? Really, and I think, like you said, Mark Robbins has got 2 different lots of people that he'll be looking at for the 2 different scenarios. I'd personally would keep Kelly because it's a bit like Doyle, wasn't it, in the changing rooms and everything. You need that. You need that behind the scenes. It's not just on the pitch. What happens? They're more off the pitch than they are on the pitch, aren't they? In all honesty. Yes, I would. I'd get a couple more strikers to push what we've already got. I'd definitely sign McNally, Doyle for another season on loan. So I'll make him in really what everyone else is saying. But
whatever happens, it's going to be a very busy summer, I think, for Mark Robbins. Whatever happens, he's got to have 2 lists. I think one at one Championship level and one Premiership level, whatever we do, whatever we end up, we've had a fantastic season, if we all agree. But we're 90 minutes, maybe plus extra time and penalties, maybe away from a place in the promised land, and 200 million plus in the bank. So we can all dream and continue to dream. All our thoughts of obviously going towards Wembley, which I think is going to happen big time for us. But let me just have a look at a couple of these messages before we go. Shoesmith's Drones, evening buzzing. We relocated to Aberdeenshire 3 years ago. We'll be making the journey to Wembley. Can't wait. This will be classic for my summer holiday due to expense. The missus is not going to be happy. Yes, I don't think he would be. Ryan Evans, I heard Morelos from Rangers is free this summer. Love to get him. And Pookie as well. Would be good partners.
No, not Pookie. Not Pookie.
Yeah.
Too old.
Too old. He struggled for Norwich.
Morelos can't. Morelos is just a hot.
If we go up, I think Pookie will be better in the Premiership there.
We had issues with
Morelos,
Hamer's.
What do you think?
Over Hamer's discipline. You get Morelos in, he'll be getting sent off every week.
Be a red card every week. Yeah, he's very temperamental, isn't he? From what I've seen, anyway. Robin's done a brilliant job at Cov from all the Norfolk Sky Blue Army.
Good evening.
And good evening, Anne Joyner. Good evening, Anne.
Hi, Anne.
Watched on telly, awesome. Still buzzing last night. What's for my lovely old dad who died 6 years ago tomorrow. That's just send our condolences there. And he would have been 93. Lifelong Sky Blue fan. Always dreamt of them getting back to the top flight. He was CJ's sidekick in everything he did, especially watching the beloved team. Drove the minibus for us all to Wembley in '87. Let's hope the boys bring it back for him. Yeah, I quite agree, Anne. That'd be fantastic if that would happen. We all love that to happen, and I think we've all got our fingers crossed for it to happen. And it's only a week away. It's only next bank holiday weekend. We'll be all heading down to Wembley. Middlesbrough scored in every home game since MC joined. Oh, right, okay, yeah, fine. I think we had that one. And then Glenn says on the back, Wasp. Yeah, we don't really want to know about them, do we?
Forget that. Move on.
Rob Nick, I must put a new shirt like Miles suggested, because during the League Two playoff final, my brother-in-law made me wear a nylon mid-80s Glazetta shirt. I remember that one, the Umbro one. 2 sizes too small for me. I spent the entire game itching. I remember that shirt, yeah. But yeah, they probably will bring a new shirt out, to be fair. I think they will. And we've got to keep an eye on it, because it will just have, I presume we'll be playing in blue. Well, we'll be playing in blue, I presume.
Love you guys. Fancy a game of me.
No, thank you, Mark. I've seen enough of that yesterday. Cheers, guys. Rich Overton, hi, unbelievable. Haven't been.
Hi, Rich.
Yet. Well,
hi, Rich.
How are you doing, mate?
Hi, Rich.
Yeah, I'm sure you're up for everything you've done for the Sky Blues, obviously, over the last couple of seasons, mate. I'm sure you're loving this now, and you deserve it. Yeah, been tremendous serving, and the things you've done for the club, we all appreciate it as fans as well, mate. So it's for people like you, fans like you, we all appreciate, and it's extra special for people like you. Let's have a look. What else we got? Any more messages, Miles, coming in?
Luke Carter. Now, listen, this is a great story. You're going to love this. Luke's in New York on holiday with his girlfriend for one of her major birthdays. Right? Yeah. And he's in New York watching us. He flew out this morning and he's watching us in New York now. So good evening, Luke.
Well,
those are positive comments from passengers at Gatwick Airport today, saying that all of them saying that anyone deserves it, it's us. So that's fantastic. And hope New York's nice. Go and find the Ghostbusters building and get a picture outside and get me a fridge magnet. Wes has popped up. Got to look at players that are coming down too. Some great players in those teams.
Yeah,
I think when it's a great shout that, but I think what you got to think about, as we've said earlier on as well, all of us, it's the attitude of the players, and they've got to be the right players to fit into the changing room, haven't they? They've got to be.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse, anyone?
Hey,
well,
James
he's
Ward-Prowse.
Southampton, hasn't he? Ward-Prowse.
Yeah. Is he going to leave Southampton?
I
Nah.
think he might. But yeah, he'd be too expensive anyway. But
yeah, we couldn't afford his wages like Mark Reed's put in here. Get Madders back. We wouldn't be able to afford his wages or his bill.
we wouldn't be able to find his transfer fee.
No chance.
Exactly. If there was one person I'd love to see to come back, and I mean, I know he's not going to come back. Well, you never know. He might do one day. I'd love to see Callum Wilson come back, Victor stay, and Victor and Callum Wilson play up front together. That I think that would just be an absolute partnership dream, wouldn't it? To be honest with you. So yeah, there's loads of comments coming in. It says, "Oh no, Luke's in the air. Luke's on the plane.
Oh, is he?
He's
My
just
God.
come in. Look, he's gone currently in the air.
Currently in the air. Wow. Happy flights, Luke.
Watch? Have you got Wi-Fi on a plane now? Then have you?
Yeah, some of them have, yeah.
Some of them have.
Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
he's probably flying expensive airline, not Ryanair.
There you go. Look, the first Mile High Club for a podcast. Get in.
Oh,
Get the whole plane watching.
We get it all on the TV screen. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Glenn's come back on and said Luton were relegated and Cov stayed up in 1992, and that was the season before the Premier League era. That's right, I do remember that, actually. Remember it well. Here's a good point. I think this is a fantastic point from Leon. We're more used to playing at Wembley than Luton are, because Luton won't handle the big pitch, because they are used to playing on a small pitch at Kenilworth Road, very tight, very compact. And I think our football, personally, will suit the pitch a lot better. I
think the key is for the playoff final. I think the main key for the playoff final is don't give any corners to Luton.
No,
that's the key. No corners. Yeah. Limit all the corners, because I think they'll punish us from the corners. Anything else, I don't think they've got enough to punish us. I don't think they have.
Wes agrees with that. He said, easy solution, don't give them a corner.
I didn't see that comment. I didn't even see that. So I'm sorry, Wes. I didn't nick that off you. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we've had loads of comments. We can't get through all of them. We just had loads and loads and loads. We've got to wrap it up. We'll be going on all night, but we can talk. We've got loads to talk about. Obviously, we've had loads to talk about tonight, and we can't get everything in because we've been on for a couple of hours now, nearly. So it's been a fantastic last 24 hours. We've all enjoyed it. We've got one more step to go, one more game to go before we get that prize, that dream that we've all been waiting for over 20 years now, to get back into the top flight of English football. And what a prize it is. We've got Luton Town waiting for us at Wembley, and let's hope we can do it. We just say thank you very much for everybody come on tonight. Mark Smith, thanks very much for joining us as regular. Thank you very much, Mark. You'll be back with your show on Sunday, yes?
Probably wait till next week. I think we're going to wait till show next week. We'll have a show next week. I'll think about it. But we'll
definitely have a show. We'll definitely have a show prior to the Luton game to preview the Luton game, and look forward to what sort of team we'll be playing, and we'll have a bit more in depth look at Luton as a team. And what sort of players we can expect to play against, and get predictions, etc. Gaz, Gary Stubbs, thanks very much for coming on.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Just want to say thank you very much for doing a great job for the tavern, for the coaches all season, looking after us. Thanks you very much, mate. Brilliant job, and look forward to next season, and of course a trip to Wembley. Wayne, thank you very much for coming on, and thank you very much for being one of our partners, our sponsors for the next season. Thank you very much. Look forward to meeting you again and throughout the season, down at Dillon's, etc. And Miles, thank you very much for coming on. As normal, thanks for your input. Miles is frozen, is he?
Yeah.
Miles is frozen.
No.
Miles.
Yeah.
I think his fridge just fell over.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry.
Too many magnets on them fridge. That fridge door.
Signal drop. What did you say? Sorry.
I said thank you very much. I was saying thank you very much for coming on, mate, and appreciate it.
No problems. Hopefully my phone will be back tomorrow. Fingers crossed, all working. And thanks to Wayne and his sponsorship for Central Health and Safety Solutions. The new microphone should be here this weekend, all ready for Wembley Fan Zone. Come and find us. live next Saturday.
Yeah, we
On
will
the
be doing
Fan
a
Zone
we will be
at
doing a live
Wembley.
show. I'll just
Wireless
say, we did-
microphones. Wireless microphones. If my camera's working.
We're just saying we did have a few technical problems up at Middlesbrough last night, so we couldn't do a live show, unfortunately, because of the issues we had with the internet, etc. down at the Riverside. It's a very poor connection there, so we couldn't bring you a live show last night, unfortunately, which is why we had a lot of videos and pictures to show you tonight. But we would certainly be back on Wembley Way, Miles. It'd be great to do a show live from Wembley Way. And we look forward to
Wembley
that.
Fan Zone. Wembley Fan Zone.
That'll be absolutely fantastic. And what a way to end the season at Wembley. You can't beat that. And just leave you with this comment. Let's finish the story. Get back to the Premier League, says Glenn. And we leave you with that comment. Thank you for joining us, everybody. It's been a fantastic 24 hours. We can pinch ourselves. Yes, we are at Wembley. And yes, we are one game away from the promised land. Good night.
Good night.
Night all.